Studios in Brea, California, here is the Doyledin Podcast.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Doyledin Podcast. We don't really know what to talk about this week. We have one episode of Raw. I don't know what's going on SmackDown, but not much happened on Raw, so it's kind of just a shoot the shit episode. That's what
You should be happy. You should be happy you can't see SmackDown. Well, like, not that you can't, but you don't see SmackDown because Sami Zayn is now on SmackDown.
Oh, beautiful. Keep him there.
He's out of your hair. Look at that.
Now they need Jey Uso to go on SmackDown.
They may. Who knows? I mean, I when Sami came out, it's kind of like, okay, he's here to turn heel, or I don't know, but
hopefully,
I mean, it's just a whole bloodline thing all over again. I mean, so he's with Solo there, kind of going back and forth with Solo, and they get into it, and he gets jumped. They got to do something with him other than what he currently is, and the constant same old stuff with the bloodline and the members of the bloodline. It's got to change.
yeah.
And he was never really a heel with them. He was more of the face, even though they were a heel faction when he was with them. He was never a heel himself. He was the guy that actually made you cheer the bloodline, even though they were heels, because you loved Sami Zayn back then. But
Yeah.
if he was a turned full-fledged asshole, that'd be unique, but I don't know.
But I think if they did do that, it would just kind of make that, like, Karrion Kross storyline just kind of like, like the ending of it didn't really matter because Sami just turned out to be what Karrion Kross wanted him to be,
Yeah, but Kross was on Raw, and I think he will be on Raw when he returns, because I do think he's going to return. And Sami can say, Kross was right all along. He was
Yeah.
right. And when Kross, but he can't say this can't happen until Kross comes back, obviously. And when Kross is back, it's his whole. See, I was right about Sami Zayn. I was right about AJ Styles too, and maybe AJ. I mean, when Karrion Kross comes back, which I do believe he will, like I said,
Yeah.
it's got to be big. It's got to be a return out of nowhere, and it's got to be not hit the entrance music, and oh shit, he's back. It's got to be a surprise with either Heyman's group or by himself with no Scarlett, and but he needs to be that Steve Austin kind of character where he's all out against the heels and the faces.
Yeah.
Because he's tired of the establishment, especially how he got treated, in this whole deal with his contract. That has to play into the storyline.
Yeah.
Because, I listened to Jim Cornette dissecting an interview that Karrion Kross did with Ariel Lawani. And me listening to the interview, I was like, oh, it's a work. It's definitely a work. He's not going to tell you it's a work because then the work's over.
Yeah.
But to me, it's a work, how he can go backstage after doing a press conference and Triple H go, I didn't know you were going to say that. Nothing gets approved unless Triple H says so.
Yeah.
I mean, he is the Vince of today. And sure, maybe some people sometimes do things where they go into business for themselves or say things that maybe they get on a roll and they keep going and all of a sudden they're, oh shit, I said too much. But I don't believe that's the case here. I do believe it's all well choreographed and it's all well set up, and you're going to see a big opportunity for Karrion Kross. It's up to him to capitalize on it when he comes back and make something of it. So that's my 2 cents.
I think that's what we kind of wanted to see from R-Truth when he came back, of like, going after heels and face and like kind of like screw the establishment and all that stuff. But it just, we knew it wouldn't work given R-Truth's character. But with Karrion Kross, I feel that could work a lot better because of like his stature and how big of a dude he is, and how menacing he can make himself look in the ring as opposed to R-Truth. So I mean,
But
I hope we get something along those lines. And I feel like you always got to have somebody like an Austin in the the main storyline at some point. Just kind of like I don't know, just have that one dude who's going around doing whatever they want. Just have
yeah,
that gimmick. Just spices
absolutely.
things up a little bit.
Yeah, and and it'll work with him because he's got great mic skills and he's always serious in his promos. Where our truth was this character on TV for over 10 years that was just a goofball. You
Yeah,
can't go from that to all of a sudden serious.
yeah,
I mean, they did the opposite with Austin when I was there. It went from the badass Steve Austin 316 to guitar playing heel, always getting, trying to get Vince's love over Kurt Angle and this back and forth stuff. And it was, I mean, Steve liked it. He had a lot of fun with it, but it kind of killed the Austin character.
yeah,
And then when he tried to turn him back again after the whole invasion angle, uh, it just wasn't the same. But I think with carrying Cross, it's again the ball's in his court when he comes back, and it's up to him to carry that ball and to run with it. Um, they're giving him the platform that they've given the storyline, in my opinion,
hmm
and they've given this whole kayfabe thing, which is what I love right now about how Triple H is doing everything. I mean, kayfabe about Punk, kayfabe about other things going on, seeing at the heel turn, Lesnar coming back. So while they're doing all this reality stuff where they're showing you the writer's room and they're showing you this and that, where you could say, well, they're exposing the business, they're still doing a whole lot that you're like, holy shit, I wasn't expecting that.
yeah.
Uh, so, it's
You get the best of both worlds.
you do. You do. It's really good right now. So they need to keep that going and just capitalize on it, like I said. And they gotta just not drop the ball with this.
Yeah,
If this is what I think it is, where it's just one of the greatest works ever, um, they gotta make sure that they really hit a home run.
yeah,
Otherwise, it's gonna kind of kill anything else they try and do that with in the future, you know? Um, but I think that I have faith in them. And I have faith in Karrion Cross. I think he's the guy that could absolutely do it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's I feel like we're at an interesting point in WWE right now where I'm just kind of like about everything that's going on. I'm just kind of like eh, it's whatever. I'm not really like jazzing for certain storylines. I mean, the only one that's on that list for me would be Sheamus and Rusev. I mean, those are the only two dudes right now that I'm like, if they're on TV, I'm more than happy to watch.
Right.
I'm more than happy to keep my attention on them in that moment because it's just like I just want to see two dudes wrestle and that's it. No, I don't need a reason. I don't need any of this stuff. Just have them go at it. And then you have, a storyline such as, what's going on with Seth Rollins where there's like four different people going after the belt and it's just kind of like you're having face go up against face. I don't know. I'm very curious if they're going to turn some of these faces into heels over the course of them going for that belt, and it'd be an interesting thing to see because we got LA Knight, Jey Uso, and CM Punk going after Seth Rollins' belt. What is it, the Intercontinental, right?
For whose belt? Seth Rollins?
Yeah. What belt does he have?
He has the World Championship.
World Champion. Okay. Who has the Intercontinental?
Oh gosh, the Intercontinental right now. Good lord, I don't even know. This is how much I have been paying attention to the
Is it
product as of late
is
because
it
it's
is it
just so.
Solo?
No, that's the U.S. title.
Oh, well then okay. I have no idea then.
Yeah, but you can look that up while we're talking.
Yeah, wait,
Um,
hold on. Give me. Yeah, let me look that up real quick. The Intercontinental.
oh, Dominic Mysterio, of course. Jesus,
Oh, yeah. Whoops.
good lord.
Big fumble on us. I don't know how we forgot that, but
Wow. It's Friday and I'm
Yeah, we're a little jaded because we're just scrambling for things to talk about. I mean, we got. I think the biggest thing that's happening right now is Naomi leaving us, because you know she
Yeah,
she
she's
got
got that
pregnant.
bloodline going.
Yep,
Yeah,
she's got a new member of the bloodline cooking up in there.
that's great, man. Hey, I'm happy for them, but we'll all miss her because she was on a hell of a tear right now
Yeah,
with.
what terrible timing, man. I was. I mean, we were
For us,
talking
it's
her up.
terrible time. For them, it's
Yeah, yeah,
it's.
yeah, yeah. As a
But
wrestling fan, and
as a wrestling fan, it's yeah, how selfish. But no, I'm just kidding. That's awesome. But it's one of those things. I mean, it could be an injury, could be a pregnancy, could be who knows. But it's just
yeah,
going to be interesting now what they're going to do with the women's championship. If they're going to hold a tournament, battle royal, you know, who knows? I would like to see a tournament, um, and they could have a one night tournament. You could make it just Raw. One night is just all just women's matches.
yeah.
You can also have promos for the guys in there and still push the guys' storylines, but make that title so important. Make it like holy shit. Um, to where you know it's such an emphasis on the show that people really pay attention to it, and especially if you're going to give it to somebody like a Stephanie McCurr or you know does Liv Morgan come back and does Liv Morgan steal it somehow or cost somebody it,
Hmm.
and they have that storyline because Naomi's not going to be back for at least you know I would say a year.
Yeah.
So you got to think WrestleMania, you know, Royal Rumble, the winner of the Royal Rumble, and you got to think of WrestleMania, the two biggest shows coming up after Survivor Series, which I hope they do the traditional Survivor Series teams um, for that pay per view. But without Naomi now, you got to really start thinking, well, who is our main event person for who's going to get the belt now, and who's going to win the Rumble to challenge that person at Mania. So
Yeah. I mean,
you know,
is there anybody in your sights that you would put the belt on? Would you put the belt on a heel or a face? I guess is the
oh, I put it
que-
on a heel for sure.
okay.
Put on a heel for sure, and let Stephanie McCurdy then still chase it like she was going to with Naomi. Um, you know, and I think then when Liv Morgan comes back, then she'll come back as a face, and if the heel still has it, or she can come back as a heel if Stephanie McCurdy wins it. Um, so
Hmm.
maybe they're keeping Liv off TV for the Rumble, and she wins the Rumble. I don't know, um, but yeah, I would say whoever gets the vacant championship should be a heel, and Stephanie McCurdy or Nikki Bella, you know, runs after it.
Yeah, I think Nikki Bella's going after Becky's belt.
That's right.
Um,
That's right.
but put it on Chelsea Green.
Yeah,
Put it on
she's
Chelsea Green.
our
That'd be
proof of the
awesome.
women's division,
Yeah.
but
Uh,
it's okay. She's a great entertainer, and she's a good wrestler, man. And
yeah.
she's good on the mic. I mean, her character is awesome. I mean, it really is hilarious, and she does a great job of the entertainment aspect, which is what she's going for.
Hmm.
Um, she's one of the top talents on that roster for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I think we talked about it a little bit in person yesterday, where you kind of have to put it on somebody you want to build up as well. Someone that you could see a future with, inside the brand. So I'm very curious to see who they'll pick for that. If they'll pick somebody, based on that, or they'll just be like, we need somebody good to have the belt. We need somebody who's going to, uh, you know, who we can trust having that belt. So
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, I would, if I was in creative, I would put the belt on Raquel Rodriguez, have her win a battle royal or a tournament, whatever it is. Maybe, um, you know, she gets some help from the outside, from the Judgment Day, whatever it may be.
hmm
Because she's big, she's tall, she's dominant looking.
hmm
So if you're going to then put a face going after that belt, what better way to build that face up by going after the giant of the women's division and being
Yeah.
able to topple her, and that's what, if you look back on the early days of Hogan and all that, they always put Hogan against these big dudes, Of course, WrestleMania 1 was, Orndorff and Piper, which was different because they had a lot of celebrities, but then you had Bundy, Andre, Big John Studd, the Ultimate Warrior, all these big monsters that he had to topple and overcome. That's how you build somebody, not just Hulk Hogan, but anybody in general.
Yeah.
So I think if they're going to make Stephanie McCourt the future of this women's division, that's a great way to get her started off. Have a heel win it, and have her go up against the heel and the big giant heel and topple her.
Yeah.
Um,
I
but that's
agree.
just what I would do.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like that'd be a good choice. I wasn't even thinking anybody from the Judgment Day, but having Raquel Rodriguez with that belt would be pretty dope.
Yeah,
Um,
I
and
think she's great, by the way.
then
Raquel
maybe
is just
have her lose that belt, and then Liv Morgan comes back, and then they have a storyline or something, Um,
sure.
yeah, I don't know. I just think that sets it up for a couple possibilities they could go down.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I heard the news that uh, Naomi wasn't gonna be on WWE anymore for a while, I was pretty upset because
Oh, me too.
I mean, even the promo of her telling everybody that she's going away was pretty good. I was
It
like,
was
this,
so good.
her dialogue with Adam Pearce
Yeah,
was really good too. I mean, yeah, um,
yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
upsetting, but
Chris needs to just get out of the ring and not stand there and do this whole thing for 10 seconds. Just fucking go, dude.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, terrible
yeah,
actor.
yeah. And I like Adam. Worked a lot of shows with Adam back in the day, and actually helped him win the UPW championship one match
Oh,
with
he wrestles.
at Adam Pierce.
Yeah,
Oh my God, Scrap Iron. Oh yeah, Adam was a
I didn't
hell
know.
of a talent. Dude.
Didn't know he
Hell of a talent.
wrestled.
Yeah, yeah. Well, so did the SmackDown GM. It's Friday, and I'm drawing a blank on
They got to book
everything.
that match. Raw GM versus SmackDown GM.
They they kind of hinted at that. I don't know if they can or not. I know Adam can still work. I don't think he's medically retired. I just think that's a spot for him. Um, but oh my God, they could. But
So
anyway,
I don't think a lot of people know that he used to be a wrestler, or maybe they do, and I'm just the ignorant one.
that they do. You're ignorant.
Okay.
You're uneducated.
Yeah,
It's okay though. It's all right. We're here to educate everybody, right? Not just the
not just
few.
me.
Hey, we had a guy leave a great message for us about the Richard Donner cut episode that we
Oh
did.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
He
yeah.
didn't
Shout
even
outs to
know.
him.
Yeah, he's a big fan of superhero stuff, but he didn't even know it was a Donner cut. So you'd be surprised what people don't know.
It's very true. It's very
So,
true.
so anyway, yeah, that was a good promo, and even after she got the tears out of the way, which I'm sure she just was trying to work through it, but just the emotions of it all, I absolutely understand.
Yeah,
He was still a heel, and the laugh, oh God, man, that laugh just fucking
yeah,
sews it up for me. She's so good at it. It's scary.
yeah. I was upset. I was like, damn it, you're going on such a good run. You're going on
Yeah,
such you're doing great. You're already at the tippity top, but gotta
yeah,
have a kid. And
yeah. They should have used caution when they were,
yeah, proceed with caution was not
caution.
one of the rules of the bedroom.
Yeah,
Uh, but no, when I heard the news, one of the things I thought of was Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch, she also had to leave because she had gotten pregnant. I don't remember if she had a belt on her or not, but that is that doesn't matter because either way, ever since she came back, I feel like we've been missing out on prime Becky Lynch ever since she had a baby. But
well, I
maybe
like
that's
that
just
Becky
me.
still kept in character and retweeted WWE's announcement of Naomi's pregnancy, saying that how selfish of Naomi to get pregnant when she's a champion. It was great.
So she probably wasn't champion when she got pregnant.
But she might have been, and maybe that's her whole hypocritical, statement.
Oh, okay, gotcha,
I just
gotcha.
don't recall. But
Okay.
but yeah, it was funny. It was good. And I think maybe she keep all her promos to X and Twitter because
Well,
they come.
I mean, that's something that we've discussed. I mean, and that we'll probably keep discussing is you got to keep the kayfabe on the social medias. You can't
Absolutely.
like you got to do that. You can't just you know see behind the
Yeah.
curtain on the social medias. Like you can't just let everything go. You gotta. I think it just sets the brand a lot better that way than you know
Yeah.
making TikToks with your wife or something.
And I think they should go by their wrestling names too while they're on Twitter, not
Yeah,
like Rebecca Quinn, which is a great name, and she's from my hometown. But uh, I think she should be Becky Lynch on X and
agreed.
keep that going. It's just again, I don't mind the whole reality show stuff where they're showing behind the scenes stuff, but at the same time, try your best to keep the illusion real. I
Agreed.
know that Tom Cruise goes around as Tom Cruise on Twitter. He doesn't go around as, Jack Reacher or fucking the guy from Mission Impossible. I
Yeah.
get it. But when you're constantly in that mode, it's not a movie. It's not a 1.5 hour, it's cut, it's in the can, it's produced, it's gone out the door. This is a constant thing where you're that character every single week. And you want people to believe in that character. And the more people believe in that character, I'm not slamming them. If that's what they want to do, that's fine. But if you want people to really believe in your character, and when they come to the show and you're a heel and you want them to boo you, which they should be doing, not cheering you because you're cool and you want to be one of the cool kids, be a heel or don't be a heel, you know, get them to hate you.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to
Be
be
Becky
hated as
Lynch.
a heel.
Yeah. Don't be Rebecca Quinn on X. Be Becky Lynch, a complete bitch on X. And not a cool bitch, not a ha I'm funny kind of bitch. Just be a bitch.
Yeah.
Just like Solo, be an asshole. Solo Sokoa, not his real name, but get on X as Solo Sokoa if you're going to be on there and be an asshole.
Yeah.
And the faces, same thing. You know, be that cool. Hey, rip on the heels a little bit. Make jokes about the heels. Man, back in the day, you listen to Bobby Heenan on commentary, Jesse Ventura on commentary. They would make fun of the talents, appearances, how they spoke, how they looked, as far as their actual gear and their physical look. And that was a heel commentator. That's what they did. And they got those guys over as faces and as heels. And we don't have that anymore. We just have two. We've talked about commentators before. We need a
Yeah.
heel commentator and a face commentator. Uh, and we got to get that separation, But if you're going to be on social media, I firmly believe you should stick to character because it only helps you in the long
Agreed.
run in your career.
I mean, how do you think social media would have looked for WWE if it came out back then? The prime time of WWE.
Oh man, it'd be so different because back then those guys were all kayfabe. They were
Yeah,
strict as shit. I mean, I think we talked before about Brett and Owen. They wouldn't even travel together once they split up and they were against each other. And they had traveled together for years, but they wouldn't even stay in the same hotel.
that's crazy.
They did stay in the same hotel. They'd go in at different times, and you know, it was one of those things where they really respected the rich history of this industry. And, you know, all it takes is a couple of talent that stomp their feet and say they don't want to do it. And if they're talent that really the company values and doesn't want to lose, they kind of give in and say, okay, you don't have to. But then you had, the Sheik, Iron Sheik and Jim Duggan, who were bitter enemies, right? Iron Sheik from Iran and Jim Duggan, pro USA. And they got stopped going down the freeway because they were speeding and smoking pot in the car together. And it was in the tabloids the next day back in the 80s, you know? Jim Duggan and Iron Sheik arrested. It's like, how can they be arrested? They're enemies. They're already in the same car together. And
It's
again,
funny.
this is before internet and social media and everything. So it was a shock to people. It was like, what the?
Yeah.
So, stuff like that. And then, of course, if somebody gets arrested for a bar fight and it was like, I don't know who Harley Race was with, whoever, he's going against, but they're in a bar drinking and a fight broke out. Now why are they getting arrested together? Why are they fighting together? Why are they? So, I mean, there's
It's
stuff
funny.
back in the day. It wasn't as widespread because, again, no internet and, no social media. But if they had social media, I think they would have been very strict and, would have been more protected for sure than it is today.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an interesting thing to talk about. I mean, when Vince was still with the company, was he running social media kind of differently? Uh or was it kind of the same stuff that we're seeing now?
At first, when social media came out at first, talent were told they could not have their own accounts. They had to be WWE accounts with their names, their character names, and they got a lot of after a little bit of time, that got a lot of kickback, and that's when they started relaxing again. Like I was saying, somebody they value through a tantrum, and they say, okay, fine, you can have your own, do
Yeah.
your own thing. And once they were allowed to do their own thing on social media, then there was too much of this. In my opinion, talking to their buddies who are supposed to be heel and face, and all of a sudden, it's blurring the lines, and then you know the curtain comes down a lot more than it was before. And I hate that analogy of, well, kayfabe was already broken. What does it matter? Well, okay, if you got a little hole in your boat, you don't make a bigger hole. You try and patch the
Yeah,
hole up the small hole, right? So,
exactly.
I mean, there's ways to fix it. I mean, you can go back, in my opinion, absolutely. It will just take some time, and you know, but I don't think in today's world that there's going to be any change to how social media is ran for the talent. I think it's just
Yeah.
going to be how it is.
Yeah, I feel like it's a very minuscule thing as it is anyways. I feel like you got to be like very into uh WWE to be following all these wrestlers, and I mean, imagine trying to follow the whole roster on Instagram or X. I mean, that's
Yeah.
your content is going to be nothing but WWE at that point.
Well, I'll tell you, and here's credit to Naomi, right? So Stephanie Vacour tweeted how she was sorry that she didn't get to see Naomi and wishes her all the best with the baby. And Naomi retweeted and with a quote saying, "Don't you, think that this is just going to go away? As soon as I get back, I'm going to whoop your ass." Perfect. That's exactly how it should be.
Yeah.
And some of them kind of do that, but then they kind of make a joke out of it, and then they follow it up with another, like, "Oh, that's my buddy," kind of so funny, kind of. It's like, stop. It's like the whole fucking uh Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. It's like, ugh, that kind of buddy buddy thing, and that storyline needs to die as soon as
Yeah, that needs to end. I don't know.
such horrible.
Yeah, are they fighting at Clash in Berlin? I mean, or Clash in Paris?
I have not seen anything.
I
Again,
don't
I only
think
saw
so.
the two matches. Uh, Not sure what happened on. I flicked through Raw last week because I was just busy, and
Yeah. Doesn't look like they are as of right now.
yeah. I mean, what matches do they have booked for Paris right now?
Yeah, let's go over that. So they right now they've got John Cena versus Logan Paul.
Right.
Um, I think that match could be really good.
Sure. Absolutely.
Logan Paul, I think, is a phenomenal talent. Uh, I don't know. I just he's the fact that of who he is and for how long he's been with WWE and how talented he is just bonkers to me. Like it's crazy. Um,
Yeah.
and I mean, for that match, I don't see. I could see Cena putting over Logan Paul. I don't know. What do you think about that?
No, no.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. I think you have to have Cena go over. You can't have him lose every single match running up to his final. I think whoever he wrestles in his last match, he'll lose to.
Okay.
You know, he'll be a very traditional finish of a you do your honors going out the door, whether it's going to a different company or retirement. You know, um, so I think he beats Logan
Logan.
Paul, and um, yeah, I still think he goes against Gunther for his final match,
I would love
and
that.
Gunther beats him.
Yeah, I would love for Gunther to go up against John Cena as John Cena's last match. Uh,
But we still have Lesnar. So where's Lesnar fit in?
that's very true. Unfortunately, that's very true. Um, yeah, where does Lesnar fit in? I don't know.
I mean, I think if anything, if Logan Paul does go over, maybe Lesnar scene of the match.
That's true.
You
Yeah,
know, that's the only way I would let Logan go over on Cena. You know, as good as Logan Paul is, and he really tremendous, tremendous on the mic. But you know, him beating Cena doesn't do anything else for him. People already know how great he is. It Him losing helps him as a heel. You know, if you're losing to John Cena, it's not a bad thing. Um, so I think if you are going to beat Cena, he's got to do it with somebody's help and to further the next storyline for Cena, going up to the Survivor Series,
and
um,
that's gonna be his last match, Survivor Series.
or whatever it is. Well, I think it's so I don't know. It could be Saturday night's main event. It could be Survivor. I don't know. So
Interesting.
if it's Saturday night's main event, not many people are going to see it since it's going to be exclusive on Peacock now, and not even on NBC. Um, Maybe that starts the next Saturday night's main event. Maybe it isn't this one. I don't know. But you know, you want all eyes on Cena's last match because that will be bigger than I can I would say that will be the biggest rating that Raw or whatever show it's on, biggest rating that WWE will get since the Attitude Era.
Really?
I guarantee you, millions will tune in to watch that. But you got to put on the right show.
Yeah.
If you put it on, if you put it on Raw, it's only on Netflix. If you put it on Saturday Night's Main Event, it's only on Peacock. Why not put it on SmackDown where the whole country can see it? You
Except
know,
me.
except you, yeah. I mean, but then if you have it on Netflix and you have it on worldwide, but I don't know. Maybe it's something that goes on all the platforms. Maybe that's a deal they make. Hey, it's going to be on Netflix. It's going to be on Peacock. It's going to be on SmackDown.
That's wishful
Or
thinking. I don't think they're gonna do that at all.
I mean, how big of a deal would that make his last match? I mean, it already is
It
a
would
big deal,
be.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, so I don't know. Or ESPN, this whole new ESPN deal, it's, for PLEs.
Yeah, before we go into talk about anything else, what's your opinion on the ESPN deal?
Hey, it's not the family-owned business anymore. It's
Yeah,
TKO, and it's where can we make the most revenue to keep our board members happy.
yeah,
Uh, I was always torn when WWE went public. I totally get it, right? You go public, you get this immediate cash flow from investors and board members. Um, However, now you got to answer to them, and you kind of got to go by a new set of rules and a new set of do's and don'ts.
yep.
Um, but also, you have to answer to them if you're not bringing in expected revenue. You got new budgets to hit, which are more extreme than what you would have had as a family business, because these board members want the max revenue, the max return for their investment.
Yep.
And It's no longer, hey, I'm happy with, you know, X amount this quarter because, I'm just feeding myself and everybody else is making their money that who work for me, you know. But now it's no, it's the max to the limit, and this is how you do it. And a lot of these top guys, if they had hit this certain profit per quarter, well, now they get this little bonus as well. So there's a lot of tangibles going into this, and you know, as a corporation, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Uh, you know, it's PLEs only on ESPN. They're getting a lot of money to bring it over there.
It's crazy.
Absolutely. Saturday night's main event only on Peacock. Raw only on Netflix. And this is the USA we're talking about. This is not, in other countries, Peacock, hosts Raw, I believe.
Yeah.
So
No,
all these other,
Netflix. Oh, in other countries. In other countries. Sorry.
yes,
Yeah, you're probably
yes.
right.
So, there's all these tangibles going on, not just here in the States, but overseas. And it's bringing in, millions, hundreds of millions of dollars for TKO.
Yeah.
Um, and I wouldn't be surprised if they start, you know, I don't know actually if WWE is making more money than UFC, but I wouldn't be surprised if WWE starts, if they're not already, if they start outpacing UFC.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, even the tickets for WrestleMania for next year, 2026, you know, some of these prices are just outrageous. I mean, for both nights, you're looking at, 70 grand or whatever it is.
That's
Uh,
insane.
yeah, the whole package, it's incredible. And the thing is, they'll get people who'll pay for it.
Yep. And that's the thing is like you have all these fans they're gonna complain and why are only the PLEs gonna be on ESPN, and then it's like then the next thing you know they turn around and get a ESPN subscription to watch the PLEs. It's like you guys realize it's not gonna be a mainstay thing if you don't support it.
Right.
If you keep supporting it, then you're just giving them what they want, and you're not gonna get what you want.
Yeah.
Like just because, you know, it's WWE doesn't mean you have to pay for it because you're a WWE fan, you know? That's what cracks me up about these people is some of them that they'll complain, that WWE is spread across all these different platforms and how that's a big issue, but then they have all these different subscriptions to where they can watch all this stuff from spread across different platforms. It's like if
Yeah.
if if it's a problem to you, don't subscribe to it. You don't have to.
Right.
You get access to highlights. They'll post about it on their social media where you don't have to watch the whole thing. And I bet you some of these people who buy these subscriptions for these streaming services don't even watch them to like a daily basis or like a weekly basis or whatever. Um,
Yeah.
they probably still just watch the highlights. um, so I mean I get the whole corporate take on it. They got to make money somehow and all this stuff, and they know they're gonna make money. Uh, but I feel like I just want to watch wrestling. I just stop making this complicated. Uh, I
Well, I'll tell you though, I will tell you though, the one shining thing about them having different shows on different streaming avenues is they have to now produce, worthy shows
That's
that
very
are,
true.
because if you want to keep that, 100 million, whatever it is, deal with ESPN, well, the views better be there, the streams better be there, however they count it these days, not the ratings, but same idea, better be there,
Yeah,
right? If you want to have Saturday night's main event exclusive to Peacock and get the money from that, well, every Saturday night's main event better be banging, because if people aren't tuning in, then that's going to die quickly. And if you want Netflix to renew the Raw, contract when that's up, well, Raw's got to be producing every week as well.
yeah,
So for me, in a way, it should help produce better shows and more entertaining shows and more captivating shows. That's the that's my thought process with it. But if you want to, like I said, if you want to keep those deals,
Yeah.
the
I feel like
content.
that's the hope. That is the hope, is that we're gonna be getting uh better written stuff and better produced stuff and better everything.
Yeah.
But I just don't think we're gonna get that. Based on how
Well,
things are already, how they are, it does not feel like, ever since they've split Raw on Netflix, SmackDown on USA, wherever NXT's at, I don't know where they're putting that on. PLE's on Peacock, but now they're going to be on ESPN. It does, ever since all that has happened, it doesn't seem like production value has gone up. Yeah, I don't know.
well,
Maybe I'm
so
wrong.
I think SmackDown is going to leave USA once that contract's up. That's probably going to be on a streaming service too. For the USA, it already is overseas, but um, I I think that first of all, we're heading into a more attitude era type of product now. I feel from what I've seen over the last couple of weeks,
Yeah,
it seems to be getting a little more, you know, not raunchy or anything like the attitude era was, but we're definitely moving away from the PG era.
yeah,
It seems, and that's another bonus that's will help with creativity because when you're PG, you're limited to what you can do. Say, but now you're on streaming services. You don't have to worry about the FCC. You don't have to worry about you know standards and practices and all those people that come down on top of you when you're on cable because they don't control that.
yeah,
So now you can kind of run the gamut, and I know they can already on. They have chosen not to up to this point, and it's actually WWE that censors the cuss words, not Netflix, um, because they don't want it to be like, well, we throw it out there right now, that's going to be expected of us all the time, you know,
yeah,
and so you gotta kind of give a little, but not a lot, but also make it make sense. Don't just, everybody can't go out there and start saying bitch and ass and shit and stuff like that,
yeah. That's not what we want.
no, right? And unfortunately, some talent, and they did this in the attitude area, some talent, they go out there in the promo and they use certain words that kind of like, okay, there's no need for that,
Yeah,
I'm not saying people shouldn't say it, but it's got to be warranted in a promo, as opposed to I can cuss, so I'm just gonna cuss.
yeah. I mean,
Um,
it's like this show. We cuss every now and then, but it's not like, I'm saying it every fucking word, every fucking sentence. It's not fuck WWE, fuck Seth Rollins. It's not like that. It's you if it's you need to put it there when it's warranted and when it's earned, and not just throw it out there because it's a word that you can say, um, and you could have it come out your mouth anytime you want. But um,
yeah,
because I remember when Netflix, when the news came out that Netflix was gonna have Raw, everyone was so excited. They're gonna push the envelope more. You know, maybe Seth Rollins isn't gonna be called Seth freaking Rollins, and instead it's gonna be Seth fucking Rollins. I'm like, I don't know about that, and I just feel like that's a bit ridiculous to ask for. Uh, and I feel like that's more like those those house shows that that you'll see like online of you know the house shows that people wrestle for a hot dog and a handshake, um, and that's something that you'll see over there. But as um what is WWE technically a corporate company, right? It's a corporate
yeah,
company.
corporation. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's, yeah, corporately owned. It's You're not going to see something like that. And it would be very weird to see something like that. And it would be very off-putting, especially now where it's kind of just like, I don't know. I mean, how many kids are looking up to John Cena, and the next wrestler that came out after his promo just starts cussing up a storm at Sami Zayn or something? um,
Well, and you look at AEW, right? AEW does all this crazy shit pretty much on a weekly basis where, somebody's getting nails in their back or, all this stuff, and they're doing it just because they can, and
Yeah.
but not in a way that makes sense. And it's a turnoff. It really
Yeah.
is, and that's why they have the small audience that they have. It's not very creative. That should be kept for a very special moment once a year, not every other week, where we're going to make people bleed just because we can, and this network allows it now. You know, this is the same network that gave WCW shit for very mild stuff back in the late 90s. And obviously it's, 30 years later, but um, you know, now they're allowing AEW to, have a board full of spikes and throw somebody on top of it and it gets all stuck in his back. It's like, for what? For what? Because this guy's crazy and that's what he does. It's like, this still doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
It's a niche, market, and it's not one that fills up an arena, as you can see by their TV shows. And they don't fill venues at all. And then unless you go overseas, and then people buy a ticket because it's an American company coming over. Okay, got it.
It's well,
But if they were,
I feel like they would just buy tickets just because it's pro wrestling, not
right,
because of AEW. But
right, that's what I'm saying. It's an
yeah,
American company going over there. They want to see it. Oh, okay, big star wrestlers from TV, got to see it. Not the brand, just you know.
yeah.
Well, if they were doing that every week over there, people will get sick of it too. ECW was great. It was a great promotion. And that's where a lot of these guys got their start, and that's where Steve Austin really became Steve Austin. Tommy Dreamer, Raven, Jerry Lynn, Rhino, all those guys. But again, Paul took it to the heights that he could. But again, it wasn't enough to make it a national thing like WWE or WCW, or an international thing, because again, there's only so many people that will stomach that constant stuff, that where it's like, okay, I don't need to be watching that all the time. You know, it's
I don't know though. I don't know in today's day and age. I mean, I don't
but
know.
then AEW will be filling arenas,
That's
and
very true. It's very true. It's
you
very true.
know,
Um, I I mean, just hearing you talk about this subject has just kind of gotten me thinking about horror movies.
sure,
Of how the 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 great rise in popularity of horror movies you have out there, and it so much violence, so much all this, but the difference is you go into those movies expecting, to see some messed up shit. But when you want to watch pro wrestling, you want to see pro wrestling. You don't want to see horror movie
right,
shit. You don't want to see, people getting their, heads nearly chopped off in the middle of a ring. That's not entertaining, That's just morbid. With movies, it's fake. I guess it's fake with pro wrestling, but the difference is that people are still getting hurt, you know.
sure.
You can call fake, scripted, whatever. People are still getting hurt. They're putting their bodies on the line. And it's kind of funny to see the polar opposites of that, of how, you know, because I feel like a lot of wrestling fans, some of them are horror movie fans as well. I mean, you can see it with the Wyatt Six coming to Universal Studios Orlando and Hollywood, as a maze, a spooky maze. But uh, then, when it comes to these extreme matches, the fans don't really give a damn, because it's kind of just like, I feel like we've already seen all of it, you know, and there's only so much you can do with those certain matches, because you don't want to kill someone, you know. Um,
Well, I mean, at least with your horror movies, there's a storyline, there's a plot, right? But now that take those same characters from that horror movie, same characters, same people, same shit, and then next week a different horror movie, but all the same characters, all the same people doing the same thing again.
yeah,
It's gonna get old quick. And it's gonna be like, oh, I already saw this. There's no creativity to that, you know?
yeah, I get what you're saying. You got different
But
you you have
but like if you have
franchises.
Chainsaw Massacre, you don't have Chainsaw Massacre 2 the next week,
Yeah,
right? It's a couple of years. before that comes out, right?
Yeah.
So you have that gap in between, and with AEW doing all that stuff, and now you have TNA going to Wednesdays to, and they're going to go head to head with AEW. You know, that's gonna take the real wrestling fans away, because TNA is well written. It's got some good talent. It's got some great talent, as AEW does. But the creative in AEW is just not. It's not the psychology is not there.
Yeah.
And you know, I know that they got there's a writer, one of the head writers from WWE left WWE last year. I think it was last year, and she went to AEW. And I don't know. I don't know who's running creative, if it's her or Tony Khan, but it's not a wrestling show.
Y-
It's get out there and do Cirque du Soleil, and at the same time gore. You know,
Yeah.
it just is like there's, and yes, they have storylines, but they're not well done. They're not, there's nothing that's compelling. There's nothing that's making me go, "Oh, this is great." And I tried so hard, and I even told you I don't want to talk bad about AEW when we do the show. I've been trying to watch it, and it just became impossible. You know,
Yeah.
so
I mean,
you know,
I've never tried watching AEW.
yeah. And now there's rumors that Jericho's leaving, and he's going to come back to WWE for the
Really?
Rumble. Yeah, which he should come back to WWE. That's pretty much where he became. You know, I mean, obviously he became a superstar in Japan. He was great in Japan.
Yeah.
He's great in WCW, absolutely. But world championship material was WWE. First undisputed champion. He was only a cruiserweight in WCW. That's as much as they would give him. But WWE made him a superstar and made him the household name. And you know, that's where he belongs. That's where he should come back. And if he's got to retire, go ahead and do
Oh
your last.
man, he's got to retire with WWE. I mean, what other company would be best for him to retire on?
Of course,
Um,
of course.
but before we continue, I have to take a bathroom break. I'll be right back.
All right.
And we're back. Woohoo! Bladders have been emptied.
So
So,
what else?
I mean, we could continue to go through the Clash in Paris stuff.
Yeah. What are the matches?
Yeah. So John Cena versus Logan Paul. We talked about that. Um,
About the 4-way?
the Fatal Four Way. Um, I, I'm so tired of. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just a personal thing, but I'm tired of the belt having to involve everybody. At
Well,
once, and not just one person at a time.
yeah. Well, it's part of the problem. You have so much talent on the roster, right? And so
Yeah.
much. Another issue of today's talent, not just social media, but everybody wanting to be the top dog, instead of knowing their spot on the roster. But maybe it's a creative thing. Maybe it's what WWE wants to see and do. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
because you have this fatal four way with Jey Uso, CM Punk, LA Knight, Seth Rollins. I mean, LA Knight, Jey Uso. I feel like it's so unnecessary for them to be involved in this match. Um, and I know you have Jey Uso having history with that belt, but that ship has sailed, already. And I feel like you're just what's the word? Um, restraining Jay from you know potential storylines and potential other feuds that you can have him with other people, with other performers. And I don't know. I just to see Jay chasing the belt is just kind of like we've been seeing this for the past like couple years. He's already got the belt and he lost it. And
yeah,
we've talked about it before on the show. Jey Uso is not somebody who needs that belt. He's already over.
right.
you know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I totally agree with you. And man, look what they're doing with Sheamus and Rusev. They're not in a championship storyline, but their storyline is definitely more compelling and
Yeah,
interesting than anything else that's going on right now. And
100%.
it's no belts involved.
Yeah,
And it's just all pure, you know, annihilation of each other, and you gotta love the way they're doing it. But I agree with you, man. It's like get more storylines going, you know. Tell these guys this is what we're doing, you know, make it happen. Make it good. It's up to you.
yeah,
And I think nowadays it's just I don't know, they cater too much to the talent or what it is, but I mean, I don't know.
yeah.
It's
I don't,
kind of like you tell I don't know, when the top actor give me a top actor today. I don't even know who the top actors are movies in a while, but
Pedro Pascal.
sure. Tell 'em, "Hey, this is how the Fantastic Four is." And it's like, "No, I don't wanna do that. Let's do this instead." "Oh, okay, we write the whole script because he doesn't wanna do
Yeah.
this part." It's like, "No, that's not how it goes. Make this work."
Do you
You
think
know?
that's how it is?
I don't know.
Okay.
I I do think that there is a lot of I don't know if it's in this case, I don't know if that's it, but I do believe, from what I understand, there's a lot of, really? Uh,
I just
I don't
want to
wanna
play
do."
2K.
It's like, "Shut the fuck up. You have a job. You are a professional wrestler. Get out there and do it." You know? There's guys back in the day that, "This is what we're doing? Alright." I mean, look at Dusty Rhodes. Go out there and put him in polka dots. "Alright, I'll make the best polka dot looking guy you've ever seen," you know? Doink the Clown. "Okay, I'll be the best clown you've ever seen," you know? Repo Man. All these terrible gimmicks that have been given to these guys in the past, and they've made them work, and, now it just seems like, "Oh, I don't know if I wanna do that," you know? It's like,
Yeah.
"No, you wanna do it." Here's the thing. If you don't, out the door, you
Yeah.
know? And, I think there's a dying breed of guys who get the business, understand, "Hey, this is what, creative has, and we need to make the best of it." You can give your ideas, you can give your input. At the end of the day, you know, it's WWE. It's not your show.
Yeah.
It's not so. But I think that they need to get, like you said. I mean, how many fatal four ways or how many three ways or whatever you know we're gonna have surrounding the
Yeah.
title. Let's create more storylines, create more angles, and personal feuds, and more heels and more faces, and get the ball
Yeah.
rolling.
Yeah. I don't understand it. Why? Because it feels like like now every pay-per-view or PLE has to have one belt that's a fatal four-way, or not a fatal four-way, but like it's a tag, or not a tag team match, but like a triple threat, or it's got to have somebody else involved into it. They just can't. They can't. You can't have one person versus the other person when it comes to a belt, and because last pay-per-view it was the triple threat with uh Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, and Naomi. And I mean, everybody knew Naomi was going to win, and I
Right.
feel like that's kind of be the same thing with the Fatal Four Way. We all know Seth Rollins is going to win. Um, I just don't see anyone else getting that belt, and especially taking it off Rollins this early into him cashing in to get the belt. So
Yeah, and especially how they did it. The knee injury, but then not.
yeah,
That was so well done that you're not going to end his reign that quick.
no,
And if you do, it's
no,
kind of like that was a waste.
yeah,
You know. Um, but who knows? I mean, it's one of those things. But yeah, I agree. I think maybe that's why they're doing the fatal four ways. Like, well, you do a one on one, he's not going to lose the belt. So
maybe.
you have more storylines involved if you have these four different guys in there.
Yeah, you could
And
tell a better in-ring story with a Fatal Four Way, I guess, but and especially like I feel like that somebody needs to turn heel here, though. Either LA Knight or Jey Uso. Um, don't think CM Punk is gonna turn heel because I feel like Seth's reign's got to end with Punk getting the belt. That's the only way
Absolutely.
I feel like you can end Seth's reign. Um,
Absolutely.
and does Jey Uso turn heel? Does LA Knight turn heel? Like I feel like someone has to turn heel. You got a fatal 4-way. You're gonna be going up. There's 3 faces versus one heel. I mean, I don't know.
Well, I still think they're building towards Survivor Series,
Okay.
and I don't know if they want to separate those guys just yet. But I mean, Paul Stable still needs one more person, in my opinion.
Ooh, you think
You know,
somebody Jey Uso joins him?
I don't know about that. I mean, I still see Gunther being the guy. You know, I've been
Yeah.
saying it for a while. It hasn't happened yet, but I still believe that Gunther is the right fit for
Y-
that faction.
Yeah, Gunther's still been out. We haven't seen him.
Yeah,
Broken his orbital bone. I don't even know if that's a real bone.
sure it is. That's a bone right
Okay.
here.
Gotcha.
Um, but uh, I don't know if he did break it or not. Is that what they said?
That's what they said.
Oh,
Or something.
wow.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure he's been out because he broke his orbital bone. But I feel like that's a work.
Yeah, I mean, just drops the title, take him off TV for a bit, so he doesn't have to, be remembered for that match. And when he comes back, it's all fresh. It's kind of like what they do. Um, but again, if he joins Heyman's faction, I mean, that's a huge, holy shit. They forget he lost the title because now he's this animal with these 3 other guys who are just, taking over Raw, and they need to do that more. The other week, the same promo over and over again. Here's Seth Rollins, the visionary, and blah, blah, and let's put him over. And Braun Breaker, let's put him over. And every
Braun
week it's Paul
Braun's
Heyman
free.
putting these guys over in a promo. It's like, okay, cool, do something.
Yeah.
And I know you guys are still attacking the bloodline or attacking, Roman Reigns and all that, but do other shit. Be that dominant heel faction. I don't want to hear every week these guys' resume. I get it. I get it. All
Yeah.
right. So show up to Raw in your office. I mentioned this last time, and be total assholes.
Yeah.
Show up in your limousine. You guys get out of the limousine. Be assholes to the limo driver. Be assholes to the guys bringing in the food. You know, attack a lower card guy backstage. Get involved. There's a match going on. You guys come out during the match and destroy both guys in the match. Get them out of here. We're up here next. Holy
Yeah.
shit! These guys can't be trusted to just stay in their own lane. They are out of control everywhere, and that nobody's safe around them. And not just all the bloodline. Remember who I am, Paul? Tell me who I am again. It's like we don't
Yeah.
need to fucking do this every week. It's like stop. So be, DX did it great. NWO did it great. Um, Four Horsemen used to do it great.
Yeah.
And
I feel like Paul Heyman's such a good manager to have as well.
yeah,
That like why aren't they doing more stuff? And
yeah,
it just kind of feels like they're dropping the ball on such a great idea that could totally work, and you know you can just do it not forever but for a good long while before it gets all right, we got to break it up. You just having Paul Heyman there, and also Braun Breaker, phenomenal as well. And I think he's not that bad on the mic either.
yeah.
I mean, you've got the blueprints for it. You just got to make it, you know?
Right. And you got
And
to think outside the box. You got to do these heelish things that haven't been
yeah,
done before, but also things that, like I said, NWO have done or DX have done, that kind of stuff. But now you amplify it because now we're in 2025, and you know, do it better.
yeah,
Uh, you know, like I don't know. there's a match going on in the ring. Here comes Braun Breaker. He grabs one of the camera guys and drags him backstage.
Yeah.
What the hell's going on here? You know, just because he wants to show him, hey, look at this. Bronson Reed stealing this guy's shoes.
Yeah.
It's like he could have just grabbed any camera guy, but he went out to the ring, disrupted a match. Now I'm like, what the fuck's he doing? Where's he going? Now I'm staying tuned. Now I want to see what's going on here. You know? But if they're going to come out to the ring and say the same shit every week, I'm like, okay, got it. Fast forward.
Yeah.
You know? And I did that last week. I fast forwarded because it's like, oh, this is like last week. This is like the week before. But if you do creative stuff like that's going to keep me going, like, well, what's he doing? What's he dragging a camera guy backstage? You know, there's Bronson Reed beating up some dude and stealing his shoes
Yeah.
like a madman, like, look what I got, you know, kind of thing. And they're just laughing about it, like this guy, you know, kind of thing, you know, or it's like not
Yeah.
their Bronson Reed kind of dude, you know, not their Shulafala, you know, whatever,
The
or
tribal thief.
Bible thief, you know, and amplify it, you know, and then
Yeah.
do the same thing with Braun Breaker. It's like, hey, watch this guy coming down the hallway. It's like, what are you talking about? Yeah, I paged a guy to come down the hallway to bring me something. Watch, and it's just an innocent guy coming down the hallway, and all of a sudden, Breaker just turns and fucking
Spears.
spears the guy
Yeah.
through the fucking wall. You know, I mean, we made a whole thing at WrestleMania. Well, not we, the company made a whole thing at WrestleMania 17, a fake room, you know, because we knew that Kane was going to throw Raven through the window. It was just a spot in the backstage segment of that match with Big Show, and you know, it was stuff like that. That's just creative. It's just holy shit moment. You know,
Yeah.
small, but holy shit. You know, and you know, Rollins can just be the guy who's just back there like these guys. You know, not getting involved in what their antics backstage. They're kind of his out of control children, but he's letting it happen because you know
Yeah.
he's in charge and he's the dude and he's the champ and
It's his
he's,
vision.
he's yeah, and he's entertained by it, you know. So eventually, because you know Braun Breaker's going to break away eventually, right? So Braun can finally get tired of. I'm not here to entertain you. You know, I'm here for that belt. I went through this last week where
Yeah.
Braun finally, maybe he wins the Royal Rumble and he turns on. You know, I'm coming after your belt. You know, I'm not your court jester. You know, I'm much as a king as you are. You know, but
Yeah.
I think this faction needs more,
Yeah. Agreed.
and they got to go outside the box more. Anyway,
I agree. 100% agree. Yeah, they just need more substance to them. That's
yeah,
it. Just something.
a little mustard powder.
Yeah. Yeah, throw in a little mustard powder. But yeah, Seth Rollins is winning that match.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what, fatal four ways are no disqualifications as well, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, so they're gonna show up. The Vision will show up. Roman Reigns might show up. Will probably will show up. I guess it depends if they do the next match, which I don't know if it's going to be after or before the Fatal 4-Way, which is Roman Reigns versus Bronson Reed. I mean, I think Roman's going to win this. They can't.
of course.
They can't have Bronson win over Reigns. I mean, he's
Right.
been having his shoes stolen for 2 weeks now.
Yeah, get shoes back.
Yeah, and also the way they kind of announced this match for Clash in Paris was at the end of Raw, where Roman Reigns comes out to defend again, or to, you know, because it's the end of Raw, they got to have all the big names come out, you know, at the end of Raw. And Roman Reigns comes out. Bronson Reed's like, "Oh, you know, I'm gonna take your shoes," and Roman Reigns is like, "All right, go, come take my shoes over in Paris at Clash in Paris," you know. And then Bronson's like, "All right, I'll see you at Clash in Paris then." And that's kind of how they promoted that card. So I'm like, all right, that's cool, I guess. You know, not
Don't
like,
forget, size is one size bigger over in Europe. So
oh, yeah.
there's-
The tribal thief knows that, I'm sure.
I'm sure he does. He's a foot or shoe connoisseur.
Yeah. But yeah,
He needs
Roman
to have
Reigns has
Tony
got to
Atlas as
win
his
that
manager.
match. What's up?
Hmm? I was just joking. He needs Tony Atlas as his manager. Tony Atlas was a school wrestler who had a foot fetish. Anyway, go
Oh,
ahead.
okay. That's some what is it? Legendary ball knowledge.
Yeah.
But yeah, Roman Reigns is gonna win that, and that match is probably gonna be before the four way, so you could still have Bronson Reed and Roman Reigns come out and do their whole little shtick with them, uh, the four way. But yeah, and then the next match, which I think is going to be the best match of the event, Sheamus versus Rusev.
Yeah.
Uh, in a good old fashioned Donnybrook match is what is labeled. I don't know what that means.
I'm
Maybe no
guessing it's a no DQ, kind of match.
extreme rules or something. I don't know.
Yeah. But again, I'm telling you, man, if you don't put the two of these together after this as a tag team, the next night on Raw, where they come out and have mutual respect for each other after beating the shit out of each other for the last 2 months.
Treaty of Nations. Treaty of Nations is the best name for that.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen to boat if you don't do that, But that could be a great tag team. They don't need to be in a faction. I think you already got too many factions going on.
Yeah.
But I think again, tag team division could use some substance, and this
Yeah,
could be it.
the only big names you got in the tag team division as far as Raw goes, in my opinion, is Finn Balor and McDonough.
Well, you got the War Raiders. You got the Creed brothers.
Okay.
Who
Just
else
haven't
you
really
got
seen
there?
much of them.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a mess. I mean, they have the opportunity, they have the talent, just make it happen. It's just build it,
You think
and that takes care of.
having Sheamus and Rusev in that tag team division would help elevate it?
Oh, absolutely,
Okay.
because they're going to be dominant, right? And they're going to come for the Judgment Day, the McDonough and Finn Balor, right?
Yeah.
In the meantime, they're going to destroy everybody else in their path. That's like, holy shit. You're going to want to see them in that match with McDonough and Finn Balor, right? So
Let's hope they become a tag team. I
yeah,
hope that's what it leads to. Because
yeah.
at that point, what do you do with them once their beef is squashed?
You put the belts on them. Like I said, you make them run through these lesser tag teams, even if they're enhancement tag teams. Like nobody, guys that you don't even know.
Mm-hmm.
People will tune in just to watch them destroy two fucking guys, just like they didn't tuning in to watch them destroy each other, because they do it so convincingly. They're so aggressive and
Yeah.
they're so snug with everything that they do that it looks good. It looks real. So I'm gonna pay attention if they're beating the shit out of two guys from NXT or from developmental school somewhere. I'm watching it. I'm watching it. And that's how the Hardy Boys got their start. Jeff Hardy was an enhancement talent, and he was only 16, and
Wow.
told him he was 18, and so he was in there doing jobs every week for a couple of $100, and a lot of
Yeah,
the
that's
guys,
crazy.
started out that way, you know. So get some fresh talent in there that can just be on TV for a week in a match that just nobody gives a shit about. They just want to see these two guys as a new tag team with some kind of finishing move that's just like holy shit. And that's what you tune in to see. You tune in to see that finisher. Like
Yeah.
I know they're gonna beat the shit out of them, but I want to see that finishing move. You know, like the Legion of Doom had that finishing move, whereas on the shoulders, and Hawk would get on the top rope, jump off and clothesline the guy off Animal's shoulders, and it was a holy shit moment every time you saw it. And you knew they're going to beat the shit out of these two guys, these
Yeah.
jobbers on Wrestling Challenge or Superstars of Wrestling, whatever show they're on the weekend. But you wanted to see that finishing move. You want to see the Doomsday Device skull.
Ooh,
And
okay. That's cool.
yeah, so it was I mean, it was like, holy shit, that guy's not gonna walk ever again. But they did it so good that it looked real, so impressive. And I think that you get the same thing out of these two.
Let's hope. Let's hope, because that would be an amazing tag team
Yeah.
to have in WWE. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We got the New Day. The New Day is the only like whatever tag team that
Yeah.
I can name right now, but
Well, there you go. Well, you could have them take the titles off of Balor, and because that's who has titles right now, right? Balor and McDonough.
Balor and McDonough have the tag team titles at the moment.
But New Day are on. See, I don't even know anymore. New Day's on SmackDown or Raw.
New Day's on Raw, and they
Okay,
have Grayson Waller with them now
that's right.
as
That's right.
Big G instead of Big E.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Rusev and Sheamus get the belts, and they tell New Day, "Come on, come get them." And
Yeah.
New Day's like, "Holy shit." You know,
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
what that,
know.
because they're in the mourning process of the tag team division. So when it's the 6 stages of grief or whatever. So when Rusev and Sheamus get the titles, they'll be in the acceptance phase of grieving,
There you go.
and then that's when they've squashed their whole grieving process thing.
Yeah.
I think that would be hilarious.
Well, I mean, is at the perfect time that Big E comes back and helps him win the titles back.
Is he cleared to wrestle?
Well, he doesn't have to wrestle. He can just be a distraction. He can be a manager kind of thing.
Gotcha.
But who knows? But
But
yeah, that's where I would go after this match with those two.
yeah, that would be a good plan. A good plan. So of those four matches, John Cena, Logan Paul, the Fatal Four Way, Roman Reigns, Bronson Reed, Sheamus, and Rusev. Those are the only four matches that are confirmed for Clash in Paris at the moment.
Yes.
We also have rumored matches or matches that might be taking place at Clash in Paris. Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre. I could totally see that match happening. I just don't see Drew McIntyre winning. As much as I would love Drew McIntyre to have a belt on him, I don't think he's going to win the match. Then another rumored match would be Solo versus Sammy. That'll probably happen.
Yep.
And I hope Sammy loses. But I think that goes without saying. Unless they're turning him heel. And, we get to see a different side of Sami Zayn that we're not used to right now. Then we'll see where it goes. But I think the belt is better with Solo right now. And then the Women's Intercontinental Champion, which is with Becky Lynch at the moment, and it would be up against Nikki Bella, which will probably happen as well. And I don't see Nikki Bella winning, but I also do. I don't know. Because right now Becky with the belt is just kind of stale. At first I was thinking that maybe she would be the fourth member of the Vision of Seth's faction. I mean, it makes sense. They both have belts on them right now. Why not? I've said it from the beginning of the faction being created. I see everyone in that faction having a belt on them. And I still stand by that opinion.
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think Clash in Paris is kind of going to be whatever. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen with Naomi's belt. We were supposed to have Naomi versus Stephanie Vicure at Clash in Paris.
Right.
What's going to happen with that? Are they just going to give the belt to Vicure and then have somebody go up against Vicure? Probably not. We've already talked about it. They'll probably give it to a heel and then have Vicure go up against that heel. I don't know. They have 2 weeks to figure it out. Well, a
Yeah,
week at this
less than
point.
2 weeks.
Yeah, less than 2 weeks. But
We'll
but
see what
yeah, we'll
happens.
have
But
to wait and see.
well, right now, I mean, I think SmackDown's already over in Dublin. They recorded a whole SmackDown while we were doing this show.
Okay.
So who knows what happened there? And it has furthered any storylines or matches for um, Clash in Paris.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, that's probably where we get the Cody Rhodes versus McIntyre and the solo match um announced or something. But I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah,
Wait and see.
yeah.
But is there anything else you'd like to add before we close off this show, this week's show?
No, it's been a bit of a kind of week, so there's not a
Yeah,
whole lot to go over. Hopefully
yeah,
things SmackDown tonight and then the lead into Clash in Paris, and we can have more to talk about.
yeah. Hopefully Raw is gonna be good next week, next Monday.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. I guess
Yeah.
this has been the
There we go.
Doyledin podcast. Have a good day. Have a good night, whatever your time zone may be. Don't forget to stay Doyledin, and we'll catch you on the next one. Take care,
Go
guys.
Angels.